Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another video. Today's video, it is about Ray and what I think that it is the biggest issue for, why Ray is not actually being played more. Like yesterday I did a support tier list. Some of you have already seen it. If you didn't, then by all means, you are more than welcome to go and watch it and then come back to this video later on if you want to. But I was actually really surprised to see that a lot of people agreed with what I had to say. Even though there was a personal tier list, I was really happy with the results. Most of the comments were positives, and even the ones that were not positive were actually constructives and actually really respectful, which is fantastic. But there was one thing that everybody kept pushing on, like during the entire day, was that everybody was saying that I didn't know how to play Ray, or I just didn't know what her true potential is. And I have to say that is not 100% true. Listen, I'm not here trying to flex on anybody, but I'm one of the people who got Ray to 50 first, one of the first in the world, and I gotta say, she is amazing. She is indeed a hidden gem, but it requires a lot more work to make her fully functional than, for example, a combat medic Pip. I know that some people might disagree with it, but let me explain why. So, first of all, let's talk about how she was released. If you guys remembered, you couldn't even use her ultimate unless you were linked to an ally. If you were linked to an enemy, it wouldn't even work, if I remember correctly. And we asked so much for them to actually change that, to allow us to actually use the ultimate by ourselves so we weren't dependent on somebody else, that they ended up changing it. Even though I still think that it would require a rework or a change, but we'll get to that. Because that ultimate has went back and forth when it comes to having the R for both you, your ally, then they changed it. If you died, it wouldn't do anything, but you would lose the ultimate, and it was a complete mess. Right now, it went back into 100% DR, and, it's actually really valuable, whether you're playing damage or support, healer, right? So, with that all aside, let me explain to you what my true motives as to why I don't think she is the best for healing and, for example, competitive. As a solo healer, I will say this. You might be able to pull something off with her, but it will be extremely hard to do. All right, even a Ceres could have better results without having to press as many buttons. Okay, even the cards, I know you can grant ultimate charge, which is fantastic. I'm not gonna say no to that. The reload speed is, if you have it as a filler, sure, but I wouldn't really recommend having that at 5 points. Unless you're into that, but that's up to you. And I like how, for example, on focus, which is the damage support part of it, you can actually slow people down and do a lot of damage, link people, and sometimes even link them to death, because after you link them, it will not break. But back to the healer part, what is my issue with her? It is her chain heal. Her chain heal, it is one of the most buggiest healing abilities I've ever seen in this entire game. One of the things I've suggested was that for the love of God, just make sure that the first target that you need to physically aim at to be visible, and after that, the bunny or the chain heal would then bounce between people, ignoring walls, ignoring ceilings, floors, everything. As long as people were within the range of a sphere from your first target, it should bounce back into that person. It should bounce back into that next person, or in the last case scenario, should be bouncing back to you. But here's the issue. If you've played Ray for long enough, you will know what I'm talking about. More often than not, it will actually just stop. The ability will just stop mid bouncing. I don't know if that's what you want to call it. And it is extremely frustrating. Now, I know that we can reset the cooldowns by relinking. And for example, a little trick, if you didn't know, it is that you can put the linking into your mouse wheel so that you can link super fast between allies and even enemies, and without having to miss anything, because you might need that split second. And just spinning your mouse wheel will be super, super awesome, because it will definitely link it to people, and that's an awesome way to do it. But there's a card that I feel that it's more valuable, which unfortunately has been nerfed over time, which was the card that if you hit people with your main fire, you could reduce the cooldown of your next chain heal, right? And that was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. But then the card, I don't remember correctly about this. If I am correct, I think they made it so that it would no longer proc on shields and deployables. Now you can still shoot, I think, Lunas and Ying clones, and it will work. But if there's a lot of shields and other sorts of deployables like barrack turrets and Inaras, the warrior fields, and etc., if any of these are blocking your sight, then guess what? You're not getting any value from that specific card. And it's still very good, don't get me wrong, but again, the right click could just fail. And here's one more reason as to why I feel like right now she's not that viable. Up into, I believe, 2 patches ago, you could actually storage 2 different charges at the same time of chain heals by, for example, using the card that you could link into allies and just linking into multiple different allies on spawn without using your chain heal. That would allow you to, as soon as you get into battle, you would have a chain heal, and as soon as that one was over, you'd had another one instantly. Or, for example, the other card, the Future Generations, the one that when you take damage, it would reduce the entire cooldown of another chain heal. If you died, if you took enough damage for the card to proc as soon as you died, the next time you spawned, you would have 2 charges of the chain heal. All of those were amazing, but unfortunately they were bugs, and they got fixed. So less one reason to make, Rey viable as a solo healer. Then, I mean, I haven't spoken about the elephant in the room, but the fact that the chain heals bounces or RNG, like, I know that they made it so that it focuses the people with the least amount of HP, but sometimes maybe I want to double heal that tank. Maybe I want to focus on that specific champion, maybe a flank or something. And because I believe that it takes attention to percentage of HP, it will sometimes skip a DPS or a flank because that tank is way lower in percentage than them. It sometimes can be very frustrating because you're really thinking that you can save that person and you don't have your ultimate to link to people. And then that's another issue. If you don't have the luck to link immediately to the right target, your ultimate gets consumed and only you get the value. If you're playing focus, you'll know that if you miss that link, that's another 6 seconds or something like that you're gonna have to wait to heal, to link into another person or to the correct target to be able to use your ultimate. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest, listen, I feel like she can work as a solo healer, but it's just too much more effort. Right now, everybody has Cauterize. A simple healer like a Corvus standing in the back from across the map, spraying his gun, who maybe was staying AFK and spawn and emoting and did nothing the entire game, will have the same percentage of Cauterize as you, and independently of how far away he is from your targets, from your teams, your teammates, they will be able to apply Cauterize from that far away, meaning that your healing bounces, because they will have issues with walls, except for on the Bazaar map for some reason, because it has that issue, it will sometimes not do anything at all late game. Ceres, for example, I can start healing somebody if they're getting Cauterize, I cancel my heal, and then I move into the next target. Not Rey. When you toss that chain heal, you better pray to God those people are not being Cauterized. You better pray to God that ability does not stop working by accident, or you better pray to God that that second person you wanted to heal does not go over that corner of the map and it instantly just makes the bounce go back to you instead of going to them, and then you don't get to save them, and then you maybe gonna try to link to them to use them, your ult to save them, and then it just fails. So I'm going to be extremely honest, I only ask for one thing, And that would be for the devs to look into Rey and possibly just allow her bouncing to work through walls. Please, let Chain Heal go through walls. It will solve so many issues. The only target you should be visible to you should be the first person, and that is it. As soon as you have that target in your sight and you toss that heal into them, it will now seek the people that are the closest and also the people that are the lowest, okay? Hell, give her 2 charges of chain heals as far as I'm concerned. Allow the cooldown to start going after you toss the chain heal so that you can already start going down on the second chain heal. And if you manage to reduce the cooldowns fast enough, you can toss 2 at the same time. I mean, what is the problem of them stacking up? You guys remember, for example, Lilith stacking up swarms on top of people, correct? You guys remember, for example, Furia sending 2 solar blessing pillars of light at the same time. How about, for example, the Gourd Dumba that can sometimes actually toss 2 gourds at the same time, and maybe 3 totems of Grok? What is wrong with stacking heals? All right, maybe that second heal, that second bounce, that second chain heal will actually catch somebody that you were really trying to catch and save, and the first one will maybe just focus on tanks or somebody, okay? And just to finish off, since I'm already talking about tricks, secrets, and so on, here's another 2 tricks for anybody who wants to play Rey. If you're playing Focus and you want to extend a link, you can put a link onto an ally, use your ultimate towards the end of the link duration, and that will actually refresh the duration, and for another full duration of linking, meaning that you can link for twice as long on that person, and you can get another link straight away after those are over. That's actually fantastic. You guys can try it. It works on enemies, it works on allies. It's really good. And the other one, it is that don't forget to please, by the love of God, if you link to somebody, your allies, not only does it heal people and grant them already ult charge, it also actually allows you to heal more with the chain heal. So if you have a tank, link into them first, and then when you trust the chain heal, you might have a better chance of success because it will heal them for more. If you go into the description of the abilities, for some reason it says 550 per bounce, but then on the description it says that it heals them for 600 per bounce. I don't really know the numbers out of the top of my head, but I don't think it's actually like that. And also, one final little tip, the passive that Rey has that allows her to jump higher, it actually works on a horse. So maps like Bright's March, you can actually jump on top of certain areas onto the roofs and so on without even having to leave the horse or having to do these weird wall jumps against trees. Just walk up to the fence, jump onto it, and then jump onto the roof. It's that simple. It's amazing. But definitely the devs should consider maybe making the chain heal bounce through walls. And just to finish off, because I just remembered now that I wanted to say this before, if I had the chance to rework Vivify, which is the ultimate, I would actually make it so that once you trigger your ultimate, it now will heal in a similar fashion to Grover's ultimate. So for an X amount of heals per second, and it could be like over the duration of 6 seconds. And what happens is that you could essentially not be linked to anybody, it will heal you for that amount, or you could link it to maybe to an Inara, and in less than 2 seconds you have her full HP, and then toss your link into another person and still be able to use the ultimate on them as well. The only difference is that it would not give the R, that frustrating 100% DR that so many people hate, because it's like a mini Fernando ult, and I know that some of you might love it. Maybe there could be a mini version of like 50% DR into the people you're linking, and if the person that you're linking to actually dies, you can just, still during the duration, link into another person and actually continue to heal for the rest of the duration of the ultimate. I think that's actually a cool idea, but I want to hear your thoughts. So please go down in the comments below and tell me what you think of this rework. And I'm just going to tell you right now, don't be alarmed. I'm not going to suggest this to the devs. This is more just a brainstorm kind of thing, and I would love to know what you guys think about it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, folks, don't forget, videos on this channel all the time, all right? If I can upload daily, that is what I will be doing from now on, because I have a little bit more extra time for myself and for the channels. And also, I will be streaming on my Twitch channel, ttv/CreepersYT, easy to find. I also have my TikTok where I place, you know, I put some crazy good plays, funny stuff, and so on. Nothing cringe of those TikTok dances or anything. It's fine, don't worry about it. And also, you might get some chances of winning some future prizes by just following the channel on TikTok. Alright? So, thank you so much for watching. That'll be it for today. Don't forget to go down in the comments below and tell me what you think about my rework of the ultimate idea for Ray, and what your idea would be. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, guys.